Take a seat, it's coffee o'clock.
Legal Lens, where law talks and politics walks. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening. You are now watching Coffee O'Clock X Legal Lens special episode with me, Imad Hassan Basri.
And me, Nurul Najwa.
Alright, so Najwa, I think I'm really excited about today actually because in this special episode, usually we talk about legal perspective and perhaps for you, it usually talk about university life.
Yeah.
But today, actually, we are combining both elements in our talk show today where we are going to talk about misconduct or misunderstood. So today we are going to dive into how IIUM handles disciplinary cases. So Najwa, when I talk about discipline, what usually comes into your mind?
I would say the rules and regulation of university.
Alright, some more perhaps? How about the misconduct, bad student, good student?
Yeah, but misconduct itself can be very, isn't it? Because that can be led to misunderstood by the student.
Yeah, so I think you are on the right track because today we are going to talk with our campus legal and security officer to uncover the process behind student discipline.
I see. For this topic, I was very excited because we have been inviting Miss Amira Nasir, which is a little bit background about her, which is she is a Bachelor of Law from IIUM. She's an alumni, and also she got her Master of Law from UiTM, and also she has been serving for 7 years in IIUM as legal officer. So let's welcome our very special guest.
Thank you, Sister Iman, Sister Najwa, and Brother Iman. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi everyone. My name is Amira. Like Sister Najwa mentioned just now, I have been serving the IIUM for about 7 years as a legal officer. Prior joining IIUM, I have been working with 𝗪𝗵𝗲𝐿 as an executive. Yes, I am alumni from IIUM with a Bachelor of Laws LLB, and also I graduated Master of Laws from UiTM Shah Alam. And during these 7 years with IIUM, Alhamdulillah, have been exposed to various legal tasks, which includes contract vetting and drafting, legal advice, and as well as disciplinary matters.
I see. Actually, for this episode, I'm very excited because I had a chance to talk about someone who have been in legal but very long way and also serving as legal officer for 7 years. So, my first curiosity is, could you briefly walk us through the process or standard procedure when a student reported for being a misconducted?
Okay, thank you, Sister, for the question. So basically, in the university, we have two rules, which is student disciplinary rules as well as academic integrity rules that will lead to the disciplinary proceedings. So, okay, I'll go through with the student disciplinary rules first. For general misconduct, it will covered by the student disciplinary rules. The moment our office receive a report, investigation report from kuliah or maybe office in charge like Office of Security Management, or we call it here OSEM. And then in our office, we have various units, and one of it is the prosecution unit. So the officer in the prosecution unit will see whether the report there is a prima facie or not. So in layman terms means prima facie, that means there's a strong case, strong evidence to prove the alleged misconduct. But if there is no prima facie, then there is no case to be brought against the proceedings. So what will happen during the proceeding if there is a prima facie? First, our office will issue notice summons to appear to the proceeding, and in the proceeding settings, in the disciplinary proceeding settings, there will be one prosecuting officer, the students, and also disciplinary committee. There will be 3 of them. One chairman and 2 panel members. Bear in mind that this disciplinary committee is not. They are not from our office. They are actually from other kuliah or other office. So I'll give you an example. To the extent that we want to uphold integrity and to ensure there's no conflict or bias, let's say the student coming from kuliah of science, for example, the disciplinary committee that will hear the case will not be coming from the same kuliah. They will be from different kuliah. So that's the settings. And similarly, like process in the court, so what will happen is that the prosecuting officer will read the allegation against the students, and the student will be given a chance to plead guilty or not guilty. If the students plead guilty under the rules, there will be a room for the students to mitigate. Mitigate here means is an avenue for the students to reduce the punishment that might be imposed against the student. If the student pleads not guilty, then the proceeding will be adjourned to other date where both prosecution and also the student will defend the case. Prosecution will prove the case, and once both sides have present their case, the committee will decide whether the student is guilty or not guilty and what is the punishment if the student is found guilty.
Alright, so thank you, Sister Amira, for explaining to us about the standard procedure when a student actually reported for misconduct. I think a lot of students are still new to this information, and I hope that this explanation could help them. But I would like to ask, actually, what rights do these students have when during a disciplinary process?
Okay, like I mentioned just now, we will ensure that the proceedings will be conducted fair and just. Like I mentioned, the first one is if the students plead guilty, there's a room for the students to seek for mitigation, to lessen the punishment. That's one right. Number two, if the student found guilty, under the rule, the student can appeal to the president of IIUM within 14 days from the date of the pronouncement of the decision for the president to decide. Either there will be three situations that might happen. First, the president will decide to maintain the punishment. Or number two, the president decides to lessen the punishment. Or number three, the president can also decide to impose a greater punishment. But this is one of the right to appeal that we will encourage the students to seek. And number three is right for consultation. This is also under the rule. Before the student attending the disciplinary proceeding, the student has a right to seek legal advice from any legal representative, maybe from ICOL or from his kuliah, or also from external parties like lawyers, for example, but at his own cost. So these are the three rights that I believe the students will have for just and fair proceedings.
Alright, so I think the university itself has made the students to have rights, certain rights that is to help them when they are facing disciplinary process. But when we are talking about this process, about how the cases are being handled, of course there are common misconceptions that are usually being interpreted by the students. So can you tell us some the common misconceptions that they usually have about how disciplinary cases are handled?
Okay, I think this question, I'm not in a position to answer this question, to be honest. But from my experience, from the students themselves, one of the misconceptions that I've heard that number one, quote, nobody sees I do this, I do that, so I should not be punished. I should not be considered as did a misconduct. Okay, that's one of it. But bear in mind, even though nobody sees you, but always remind that Allah sees us. Maybe we can escape in this life, but what about hereafter, right? Another misconception that might also occurs that, I thought offense A is only serious offense. I thought if I did this, offense B is just a minor offense. But in generally, offense is still offense under the rules. So whether it is serious or not, if it's under the rules and it had been breached, therefore, we have to follow the process, follow the correct disciplinary process.
Alright, so that's that for some of the misconceptions that students have about how the cases are being handled in IIUM. But I have another question. Actually, when we are talking about fairness for your office, the OLA, to handle all these cases, so actually how your office ensure that the process is done fairly and unbiased for all parties involved?
Okay, I think like I mentioned just now, we will ensure that the committee that sits for the proceeding are not coming from the same kuliah where the students are coming from. That's number one. And even during the proceeding, before we start reading the allegation and so on, the chairman of the committee will ask the student, do you have any objection of three of us being your committee, being your panel, to hear your case today? So if the student will be given a chance whether he wants to object or he wants to say there's no objection.
I see. So before started of the meeting itself, we as students can be asked about whether we want you as our jury, isn't it? I see. So as a student myself, I always say that I don't even know that would be break some rule. Do you have any golden rule about that? To stay out of trouble.
Okay. Golden rule, I believe that my supervisor also said that treat others the way you want they treat you. So if you remember clearly why you are here today, your life, it does not revolve around you in this university surrounding. It goes beyond that. You will be graduated, you will get a job, there's another life. And also don't forget that this life is not only about the world but also hereafter. So if you always remember that, inshallah you will be stay out of trouble.
Alright. Okay, so thank you very much, Sister Amira, for explaining to us about that. And actually, we have a lot more to ask you about our topic today, misconduct or misunderstood. But Najwa, we are going to have a little break, I think.
Maybe you guys can take a sip of coffee. So take a seat, take a sip. It's Coffee O'Clock.
Legal Lens, where law talks and politics walks.
Take a seat, take a sip. It's Coffee O'Clock.
Legal Lens, where law talks and politics walks.
Welcome back to another session of collaboration of Legal Lens and Coffee O'Clock. So from the previous session, we have been talking about the process and also what oftenly misunderstood by a student. So for this session, we more focus on the prevention and education to build a very student manners culture. So Sister Amira, so actually I would like you to, for this session we'll be discussing about the prevention and also education. So as we know, we all make mistakes, right? So how does university support students to learn from their action instead of just punishing them without having any learn from their mistake?
Okay, thank you, sister. Okay, so basically, if we receive a report of the alleged misconduct, of course we have to follow the disciplinary process like I mentioned just now. But if a student came across any irregularities, maybe in the classroom setting or in the kuliah, something that is very odd, but not sure whether this is already amount to misconduct or not, you can always come to our office for a consultation. We will provide advice on how to go about it. Maybe it's not a misconduct that been done yet. So either we channel it back to the kuliah for resolving the dispute, or we can also channel to the IIUM Ombudsman. IIUM Ombudsman is a informal platform for dispute resolution, as well as if needed, maybe can be also channeled to counselling, depending on the case, depending on the issues that the students seek consultation from our office. So yeah, I agree that prevention is better than cure. Legal awareness also should be done regularly by our office, but if we already receive a report that have a strong case, therefore we have to go by the procedures, and sometimes bear in mind that punishment also part of a lesson for the student as well.
Alright, so Sister Amira, so you said that if they had any question, they can just go to Ola office. But I believe that there are some of our students who haven't know where is actually the Office of Legal Advisor. Could you tell us where is it actually?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Usually students only try to find out where is our office, where you want to clear compound.
Yes.
Or you want to do clearance for to get your result or to register your subject. So basically, our office is located at level 3 at the main building, 𝗪𝗲𝗏𝗏 building, or we call it the Grand Staircase, that one. Just level 3, you can find it next to the lift.
Alright. Okay, and I would like to ask you another question. So, talking from your experience, looking at how students from the past and current students, so do you think that today's students are more aware of rules and conduct than before?
Okay. I think they should aware because given the vast technology nowadays, actually our rules are all available in the website. That's one thing for sure, and also available through the email announcement. And number 3, before students are registered for the new student, during Ta'aruf, we also will conduct a briefing, what you should not do, what you should not do as per the rules. So yeah, I think they should be more aware compared to the past.
I think with the technological advances, right, everything is actually on the tips of their finger. But when we are talking about offences that they have been doing. So actually, are there any early warning or support system in place to help the students before a case escalates?
Okay, like I mentioned just now, more legal awareness need to be done by our office. Like, what is the statistic now? What are the top 3 cases in the university? And that's one thing, because I strongly believe that awareness, education will help students to abide by the rules, by the law. And second of all, before the case escalates, you can, like I said, you can come to us for a consultation. We are not sure whether this is a misconduct or not, so you can come to our office for a consultation. Don't worry, we're not gonna bite you. Just come to our office. We will offer advice on what to do with the issues.
I see. So we can have a consultation with you for any curiosity if you had regarding the action we will be taken, right? So, throughout your 7 years experiences, is there most cases actually from the caused by intentional wrongdoing or lack of knowledge regarding the rules and regulations?
Oh, I would say both. Both.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be intentional, but sometimes it's also international, coupled with not knowing that is against the rules.
Is there any specific experiences that you would like to tell or you can tell us regarding that?
I am so sorry, but apparently it's a confidential information. But what I can say is, maybe some of you ever heard that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So you cannot say that, oh, I do not know that this offence is actually wrong. I do not know this is as per the rule. I do not know that actually this offence can lead to proceeding. I thought it just can be compounded. Ignorance is not an excuse. You have to know. What more, you are living in the university premise. You have to follow the rules of the premise, the university.
See, so it's aligned with you said that as a vast of technology, so we can get the answer from the technology itself, isn't it?
Correct.
So, before that, I would like to ask, you as an alumni of UIA itself, how your journey of being a student, like are you a type of student that are very strict with yourself when it comes to how your journey as a student, as 𝐂𝐿 student, isn't it?
Yeah, 𝐂𝐿 student. Thank you. Okay, during my time, I feel so old talking about this, but during my time, it's quite strict. I would say it's quite strict. Even the lecturers also very strict. The way you dress in class. So even though the lecturers maybe coming from not a Sharia background, coming from civil law background, but they will just warn you, if you wear this kind of clothes, you cannot enter my class, or they will just compound you. During that time, it's very strict. Sometimes to the extent that I saw, if the guys love to wear slippers sometimes, so they will run away from across that particular lecturer. Yeah, that's how strict it is during that time.
It's not even when you in class, but when they are meet with the lecturer itself.
Yes, in the faculty, in the kuliah.
See, I guess because 𝐂𝐿 itself scream discipline, isn't it?
Yes. But nowadays, I am not sure, but nowadays, I've seen that students a bit bold, that this is their rights. I understand that, I respect that, but whatever rights that you have, you are also bound by the rules, by the law. So, another way, when you are in the university, you have to follow the rules. Right to, the famous one, you would say right to speak, right? That one we understand and we respect. But whatever that laid out in the rules, so like dress code, for example, so you have to follow. Otherwise, you will get compounded.
See. So, any advice regarding the life as student? Maybe a small thing that as a student we didn't realize.
Oh, okay. To be honest, once I'm a student, I think I'm quite introvert. I said to my student, I'm right now teaching leadership skill. So I said to my students that during my time as a student, I always sit at the back. I make sure that the lecturer doesn't know me, so that the lecturer doesn't ask me questions. But as time goes by, now I'm working various organization. I somehow no longer be that kind of introvert. I am still introvert, but no more being the, what we called it, the backbenchers. No more. I have to be outspoken. Like, for example, in order to help the students to know the rules, to have more awareness on the legal, I have to be in front to talk to the students. So my advice advice, just be who you are, but sometimes you don't know what life comes after once you graduated.
Sister Amira, could you share if there is any upcoming events or past event that Ola has organized in spreading awareness about disciplinary in campus actually?
Okay, basically in the past, last year is Ola's 20th anniversary. So we did a lot of activities, a lot of programs last year. If you ever heard, we organized one sexual harassment seminar in conjunction with the government, the ministry. And we also organize a lot of programs that benefits to the students.
I heard there's a debate or what?
Yes, we have a debate competition also. Inshallah, this year we will organize more legal awareness programs for the students.
I see. So to the audience out there, I think you guys can plan your schedule. Maybe you guys can join. I will try to promote it so there's more participants. So before we go into deeper conversation, so how about we take a break? But stay tuned because after this we'll be having a very interactive game with Miss Amira. So don't go anywhere. Take a seat, take a seat. It's Coffee or Club.
Legal Lens, where law talks and politics walks.
Take a seat, take a sip. It's Coffee or Club.
Law talks and politics walks. Thank you very much for staying with us with our episode tonight. Special episode with Coffee or Club X Legal Lens. And tonight we are still talking about the same topic, which is misconduct or misunderstood. But before I continue, I would like to promote a little bit about IIUMTV, where we are actually having a booth, Thrift TV, at the 𝗪𝗏𝗁, organized by Mahala Amina and Mahala Usman from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So do not forget to come and visit our booth at foyer ICC. Alright, so for today, for tonight's episode, we'd like to continue with actually a mini game. Yeah, Sister Najwa and Sister Amira. So basically, we will be reading to you students' behavior, some scenario in the university context. And then perhaps you can quickly respond to us whether it is a green flag or red flag. So here are the flags. So basically the green flag will represent ethical conduct, while the red flag will represent the unethical conduct. Right, so are you ready, Sister Amira? No?
Ready? Inshallah, ready?
Alright, so I would like to read to you the first scenario.
Okay.
Alright, so when a student share their credentials of iMaklum for our login portal, the passwords with their classmate, so that their classmate can check the result and so on. So how about that? Green flag or red flag? Red flag. Right, why is that actually, Sister Amira?
It's unethical. I mean, your own credentials should be used for your own usage. Same with us for staff as well, because it will be breach of the confidential data.
Alright, so perhaps some of them might think that sharing login credentials likely might be harmless, but actually it can lead to misuse and make you responsible for something that is not even you did it, but they can
Correct.
use it to impersonate you. Right, so we would like to move on to the next scenario. Okay, so when this student actually he or she sees someone, or perhaps his or her friend doing a misconduct, but did not tell anyone about that.
Oh, okay. Right.
Right. Okay. Why is that actually?
Why? You should report it.
Mhm.
Because worst case scenario, if the case came to our office, you might have, maybe we will even charge you for aiding or abetting, or because you didn't report to us, can, because you know that she already did a misconduct but you kept silent. There's also avenue that you can also report the case, we call it whistleblower, so that your identity will not be revealed. There's a process for it as well.
Alright, so that's basically our second scenario.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
okay, as someone who are really find comfort in wearing comfortable clothes, if you are wearing clothes that follow the dress code but are slightly more casual than usual clothes, such as maybe a sweatpants, but still is Sharia compliance.
Okay. Green. Nothing wrong with it. Right.
Okay.
Might be because some students thought that as a IIUM we have a very strict when it comes to clothes.
Okay, but unless it is in a formal setting, like you are attending class, then you should wear a formal attire. Otherwise, you can wear whatever attire that you want to wear, as long as it's following the dress code.
Actually, right, this is my past experience that people from other universities thought that in IIUM we only allowed to wear baju kurung. Oh yeah, it's like a conception about us. So when they saw IIUM wearing a very casual clothes, they thought that, is it okay for your
To wear
university?
this.
Don't you get caught for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's okay as long as you follow the dress code. Sharia compliance, there should be no issue. Just bear in mind, is it for formal event, like classroom, or maybe like for us, the staff maybe attending meetings and so on. So otherwise, you can wear casual or sport attire.
See, so as a staff, right, do you ever had an experience that your spot have been taken by anyone else, like by a student, not the staff itself?
Coming again?
I mean like yours as a staff student, right? You guys have your own space,
parking
right?
spot.
Yeah, parking.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think it's
definitely.
common, isn't it?
It's common.
Yeah, my lecturer keep complaining, keep talking to student park at their places.
Yes, correct.
So is it ethical or non-ethical?
Not ethical, please, guys. Sometimes we are late for meetings. So please park at your own spot, please. Thank you.
So
Alright, so I think that's for scenario 4, where students should not park at staff parking and just park at their designated area. But how about next scenario, when a professor or any lecturer actually they detect plagiarism done by their students, but instead of just punish the student, but they report it to OLA through the right channel. So is it green flag or red flag actually?
Yes, that's actually a green flag. In any cases, you have to report to our office. We will see whether there is a case or not. And for plagiarism, like I mentioned just now, there's 2 rules, right? The other one is academic integrity rules. So any academic misconduct, including plagiarism, it will fall under academic integrity rules, or in the office we call it IIR for easy terms. And we have a special committee that will conduct investigation whether the student or even the staff conducts plagiarism. And then if there is any, the case will be transferred to my office to proceed for the proceedings.
I see. Because we thought that plagiarism itself is a very big thing, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I feel like if ever caught at plagiarism, I thought that they will automatically will dismiss you?
Actually, the punishment in the academic integrity rules is quite, I would say, severe compared to the general misconduct under the student disciplinary rules. So other than plagiarism, another misconduct that also will amount to a severe punishment is forgery. So forgery also is considered as academic misconduct, but involving academic materials, like for example, your assignments or maybe your students' internship report, for example. So that's also part of academic misconduct under the IIR.
See. And the next scenario is if there is a dispute arises between students and faculty, the university offers a natural mediation system where both parties can discuss concern fairly. Is it ethical or unethical?
Ethical? That's good. That's a very good approach, because sometimes the dispute doesn't involve basically misconduct. Sometimes it's just issues or conflicts between perhaps the student with another student or the student with the lecturer. So the first step, if the faculty or the kuliah calls for a mediation meeting with the student and also maybe the lecturer, that would be the good, that would be best avenue, best method before resorting to next step.
Alright, so we have given to you 6 scenarios so far, and then is there any other red flags that we, as usual, as students usually miss or something?
Red flags in
in
sense?
as student, misconduct that we actually don't really know, but you perhaps observe sometimes they perhaps doing it.
I would say there's a lot then, because whenever a case submitted to our office, usually the students will say that they didn't know that this is actually will cascade to another level. They didn't know that this is actually against the rules. So like I said, ignorance is not an excuse. You have to know the rules, you have to know the law in order for you to stay out of trouble, right? So if we will want to talk about red flags, that there will be a lot of red flags actually. But if you know the rules properly, inshallah, there will be no misconduct in the university.
I see. Actually, right, this have been my curiosity since I was in CFS. If you saw your peers sign for your attendance, is it actually is very big misconduct?
Okay, maybe in your classroom setting, you felt that this is just a minor offense. You sign on another person on behalf. But when you look at the bigger picture, when you are already working in maybe a private company or in the government sector, and then when you require maybe your supervisor or boss to sign perhaps an invoice or something that has bigger implication or maybe financial implication, but instead of the boss that put the signature, other people, maybe your own colleague, put the signature. That is amount to forgery, right? Kalau in a setting that you are work with the government, forgery is might be under the penal code. The punishment may lead until 7 years of imprisonment. So that's how serious when you put signature on behalf of others actually.
I guess forgery. I guess the signature itself considered as privacy, and is it confidential?
Yes, correct.
See, I guess this actually arise issue in my class. Yeah.
I understand. I think this also happens during my time. Actually, to be honest, it is common among the brothers, because sisters. Not to be biased, but alhamdulillah, sisters always upholds integrity. Whenever we were being asked to sign on behalf, usually sisters during my time, they do not want to put the signature. That's good, alhamdulillah. But that's what I said. When you look at a classroom setting, that looks like only a minor offense. So there's no bigger implication. Only the implication that the student didn't attend the class, but he got to escape from gotten the warning letter or even being barred. But in a bigger picture, if you're working, the implication is bigger to the extent it already breached the law, like the penal code that I mentioned just now.
Yeah, people say that rules are there for a reason. Right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, yeah, that's about it. Please do not sign your friend's signature anymore in the class.
I guess because sister tend to be overthinking, isn't it?
Overthinking and also maybe more alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we overthink like, if we do this, how about in future?
Yes, correct. So whatever that you students are facing now in the university, bear in mind the bigger impact is once you are graduated. So if you manage to observe the rules within the university, inshallah, you can observe yourself better to comply with the rules and regulations and even the laws outside.
I see. We finally arrived at the end of this session, Sister Amira. I had a very insightful conversation with you, with Iman. I learned a lot of things. I think both of us learned a lot of things.
Alhamdulillah. I also hope that you guys, not only you two, but the rest of the community.
So I would like to offer a very big thankful to you for coming and joining us. And to the audience out there, thank you so much for staying with us at the end of this session. So before we end this session, don't forget to follow us on IIUMTV social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, linking as well YouTube for more exclusive update and more interesting content. That's all from me.
Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Legal Lens with law talks and politic walks.
Take a seat, it's coffee o'clock.
Good night.